My name is Diane Bass. I want to give you a short word of encouragement. And the topic I want to talk to you about is get moving. In the Bible, there are many references where God actually told people that they need to move from one place to another because He had a plan for them. And there are various times in our lives where God are moving us constantly from one position to another, where He journeys with us. And that might mean that He moves with us in terms of our thinking about our lives. He moves us from one job to another. He moves us maybe from one relationship to another. He moves us maybe from one level to another in terms of our spiritual lives. But whatever it may be, we are constantly moving. And sometimes we find ourselves in positions where we are stagnant or where we are fearful to move. And in these circumstances currently, we might be fearful in order to move from one place to another. We might not want to take calculated risk because there are so many things that are keeping us back and holding us back. Society and the reality of what is happening around the world are maybe just putting a damp on our dreams and our aspirations currently. But as we are moving, as we are journeying through these circumstances currently, I want to encourage you that God is with us while we are moving. God is also with us while we are stagnant. But your breakthrough currently might mean that you have to move, might mean that you have to get up out of your circumstances and take the first step forward in faith. We see in the Bible where God told Abraham that he needs to get up and go to a foreign land. And once he listened to that call to move, then God blessed him and the promises in his life became true. God took His people out of Egypt, out of slavery, out of the difficult circumstances, and He moved them through the desert. He moved them through challenging circumstances. He challenged their faith daily. He provided even in their difficult circumstances into their beloved land. And even if it took 40 years, God used them. God used a generation and He took them out of Egypt and He moved them into their beloved land. You know, if David didn't listen to his father's call to go to the battlefield, then we would have never heard about the conquest over Goliath. But because he listened, because he moved, because he obviously listened to the call, he was in a position where he could be where God wanted him to be. And the same with the 4 lepers in the little story we know about when there was famine in the land. And God used these 4 lepers to move into the enemy's camp, and they brought victory for a whole nation. If they were stagnant, if they remained seated because of their surrounding circumstances, then the people of Israel would have never received their breakthrough. But because 4 people who had leprosy, who were already disadvantaged, who were already outcast, who had already so many things that were against them, but decided to get moving, then they were able to become the saviors for their land. I want to tell you, it doesn't matter what circumstances you are going through. It doesn't matter how difficult it currently is for you. I want to encourage you that it will not stay the same. And maybe, just maybe, the answer in getting your breakthrough is to get moving. To get moving in terms of walking towards God. Maybe moving towards making a mind shift from negativity to positivity. Maybe moving in terms of taking that first step into the dream that God has placed on your heart. Maybe doing your passion. Maybe starting the ministry that you have been dreaming about. maybe starting that business that God has placed on your heart. Maybe starting to exercise, maybe starting to follow the diet. But it is time to get moving. Do not use this pandemic as an excuse not to get moving. Because I believe that some of your answers, some of my answers are when we start moving in faith.